damn, I wish I'd planted that. This is the part of the show where we talk to you about a couple plants that are doing well right now, whether it's blooming or just gorgeous foliage like that hydrangea macrophylla of Scott's.
That he loves so much.
It's doing something, and you wish you put it in your garden. And let's start. Shall we start with Scott? What's yours, Scott? This is for the end of June.
Okay. The first one has got to be Aralia, elata, Variegata.
Ooh, a new Aralia.
Yeah. Well, it's not new. It's been around forever and ever and ever. But I was introduced to that by my friend Peter Zale very early on in my horticultural life. And actually, it was the plant he got for his 16th birthday because he was a plant nerd, as a kid. Instead of a catcher's mitt, he got an Aralia, elata, Variegata. Sent his parents searching for how to find one.
Why couldn't he just want a transformer?
Put it in a box and wrap it up. Anyway, I have only seen that plant maybe 10 or 15 times in my life. It is breathtaking every single time. And if I had planted it back then, early on, however many decades ago, it would be a big, bold statement in my yard right now. It's tough. I mean, you're not going to lose it. So,
is it tough to find?
It is. You have to go pretty much mail order and 1 gallon and nurse it for a few years, and that is pretty easy. But yeah.
So describe it to us. Why is it so beautiful?
So it's Aralia. So it's in the wintertime, it's just stems, a few big, tall stems. But then it puts on this doubly pinnate leaves. So all of a sudden, what was just really a kind of a coarse thing becomes this wedding gown of beautiful foliage that crosses over itself. And the variegation is this. I'm not really big on variegation, but this is the prettiest variegation you'll ever see. It's white and green, and you can see it from space. I'm pretty sure. It's just an amazing plant. It's really beautiful.
I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna. I couldn't help.
Do it. See it?
Wow.
Ooh, me likey very much. Oh, I'm always happy to find new Aralias. That's awesome. Cool. I mean, new to me is what I mean.
Yeah. I'm sure it's out there, but I don't know where right now. I mean,
Etsy.
Yeah.
There are some funky plants on Etsy.
Oh, really?
Very cool. Huh. Yeah. So what are the zones on that? Do you know? You said it was hardy. What does hardy mean in your vocabulary there, Mr.
The man lives
Beuerlein?
in Cincinnati, so
I was just saying it's tough. It's hardy here. I don't know how far north you go, but
well, Peter's in Philadelphia area.
Well, at the time he was Cincinnati / Columbus, Cleveland. He was growing it in Cleveland, so that's zone 5. Unless right by the lake. I don't think he was by the lake. So zone 5, say, and maybe hardier. I think the Aralias tend to go pretty far up and cold. I don't know what kind of heat it could take. I think it's from native to Japan, so kind of that gives you a little bit of an idea.
That sounds like a very cool plant. Yeah. Now I'm glad we invited Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, finally it's paid off. Yeah. And I'm praying that your plant is more common than mine, actually, Leslie, so I don't look like the heel here, but
no, mine
what
is
do you got?
Mine is pretty common, but I would say that yours, knowing what it is slightly more common, but this is a rather, in a good way. I mean, in that you grow it and you're going to love Marianne's plant. Mine is also a good one. This is the Salvia guaranitica, and my favorite type of this is the black and blue.
I was going to say that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I haven't planted it as a perennial, and once in a while as an annual, but it's perennial now.
It can be perennial now. It can get to zone 7A, and it came back a lot for me when I grew it at Minor Road. I haven't grown it here. I used it a ton for containers, and that I treated it as an annual. So this is a salvia that grows to. It's crazy when you look it up on Missouri Botanical. It says it can grow from 2 to 5 feet tall, which is a huge range. I think of it as 3-4 feet. I don't I don't see the 2. I don't see the 5.
It
I
wants
only
to
see
it
3.
wants to reach, if you don't
Mm.
have it in full sun, it'll really reach.
And it
So,
will flower. It is a magnet for hummingbirds. It has that wonderful
Yeah.
tubular thing that they just love. It has is the black calyxes, but the blue cobalt
So
blue,
dark stems.
yeah, dark stems, and it's just one of the coolest things about it is the smell of the foliage. I love pruning that plant or cutting it to bring it inside to put flowers in the vase. It smells really groovy. I don't know what, sort of an aromatic smell. Can anybody describe that? I cannot. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
resinous, I think. I always think of it as a resinous scent. And mine has been hardy for me because I'm growing it up against a barn that's pretty warm. But I haven't checked on any emerging foliage this year after that cold winter. So
Ugh.
we'll see. We'll see if I'm going to be sad because it is a beautiful plant.
It starts blooming in, right about when this drops, and it's gonna go until frost, and black and blue is one of my favorites, but a couple of other ones that I just wanted to mention. So in terms of this is the Salvia guaranitica, people call it anise-scented shade, and 2 other ones that I've seen grow too. I saw this one in the, Chelsea Physic Garden, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." It's Argentina Skies. Has a really
Mhm.
light blue flower. Have you ever seen that?
What
Yeah.
a great name. Bobo Pinky Winky people, get with
Wake
the
up.
program.
Wake up.
Argentinian skies?
Yeah.
That's
Oh my gosh,
that's
I'm in
the
love. I'll buy it on the name alone.
And Amistad is a great one. Amistad meaning friendship is
You
also
don't feel cringy when you
no,
buy it.
no, you just think of
No.
the sky, and it is
Think of
blue. It is really blue, and Amistad is a really good one because it's
And I've always loved the Argentinian flag for that blue.
yeah,
I wonder if they're matching that, but
maybe,
yeah.
maybe they were. So
Mm.
that is my plant. And Marianne, what do you have? You have a good one. I
I
like this one.
I am. I'm gonna bring it down to the lowest common denominator, but one that I adore, which is Verbena bonariensis.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of, and I'm gonna double glass this it here because this is my favorite look. Speaking of Argentinian and common names, folks, this is why we call it what it is, because here's all the common names for this one. Argentinian vervain, Brazilian verbena,
That's what I have.
Brazilian vervain, cluster top verbena, purple top, tall verbena, tall vervain, vervain, lollipop plant. How about we just say Verbena bonariensis? And this is a plant that they're starting to do shorter versions of it. It's fairly tall, 3 feet. It's an annual, short-lived perennial in zone 7 to 11. I can grow it here as a perennial in my warmer spots, but it seeds itself all over the place, and
Yeah.
those are going to give you what you need for the season. It's a very Mediterranean feel, even though it's Argentinian, Brazilian. It's a very Mediterranean feel, and it's if you're looking for transparent plants that you
Yeah.
see through
Yeah.
in the garden, that's your baby. It gives you that little bit of purple on the top, but it is these little wands that are just coming straight up, even in not deep shade, but partial shade. It still
Mhm.
grows remarkably straight. It's cheap as heck. I mean, you're literally throwing out the seed for it. It's just a terrific accent here or there. It makes you suddenly feel like you're, drinking a I don't know, what the heck did we grow this blueberry something overlooking the ocean, and the salvias and the lavenders and the santalinas are brushing your ankles, and there's the Verbena bonariensis there, and there's Paolo waiting for you oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, at the end of the drive. But it's just a really, really wonderful accent
Yeah.
plant. So
I like it
grow it,
poking
love it.
through shorter perennials, you know?
Yeah.
It looks great that way. And you're not gonna find a better pollinator plant.
Oh, no. It is
Oh,
covered.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
it
covered.
is as good as it gets. I
Yeah.
mean, it's right up there with, Pygmanthemum, Muticum, and anything you can name. Everything from big, butterflies and bumblebees down to the tiniest insects. I don't know and it's in bloom now. It started blooming for me maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's gonna go all the way to the first hard frost.
Yeah.
That's a very cool thing.
And it
Mhm.
takes up so little space in the border. So if it does appear as a self-sower in the front of your border, you're like, you are welcome because you're not hurting anything and you're just reaching right up to almost to my nostrils. So
It's easy to pull
it,
string trim if it shows up where you don't want it, you can do it so easily.
easy to edit.
I have tried to bush it up by pruning it back. It doesn't really do. I mean, it does maybe a little bit, but
It wants to be
um,
airy.
yeah, it really wants to be kind of airy is the right word.
Airy. That's a good word, Les. That's
Mhm.
a great word. And they're starting to breed smaller ones. I trialed some vanity last year, which was fine. It was good. And then there's a new one that's just come to me, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I haven't grown it yet, so we'll see. But half of me is sort of like, why are we doing this? Do we need
Yeah,
to be compact on this? I
I
just
don't know.
don't feel like we do. It doesn't take up so much space that you need it.
I would always
Yeah.
wanna grow just the original. For that reason and for the fact that my mother-in-law, who was a gardener, used to call it Verbena brontosaurus, and that always just
I mean, let's just do that. Verbena brontosaurus.
yeah, I mean, it's
All of
I
us.
love
Let's
it.
make a pact. We'll do it.
we'll do it.